Welcome to Guns 101, our video welcome message for new gun owners. It's brought to you by the Self-Defense Radio Network. I'm Rob Morse from Self-Defense Gun Stories, and my partners are Amanda Suffolcool from Eye on the Target Radio, and the guy behind the curtain doing that heavy tech lifting, that's Paul Lathrop from the Polite Society podcast. We're very fortunate to have Anthony Colandro with us again. He's from the Gun for Hire range in Woodland Park, New Jersey. Anthony's been at this for a while. He's thought about it for a long time. Anthony, new shooters, I shot this gun a couple times. This part's hard. They often say they want to change their gun rather than learn to shoot the gun they have. Talk to me about the advantages and disadvantages of that.
Whenever a new shooter tells me they're having a problem with a gun, I tell them the nut behind the trigger needs to be adjusted.
Okay.
So that's usually what I say. A good rule, if you're going to play around with guns, if you're going to modify slides, triggers, this thing, that thing, make those your play guns. If you're going to have a primary and or secondary home defense gun, they should be as close to stock, if not 100% stock as designed, just like a police department has. If work is done on those guns, it should be done by a reputable, licensed gunsmith who works on the gun, and you have a paper trail of receipts that it was worked on. There's such a thing as cute lawyer tricks. Changing your trigger pull from 5.5 pounds to 1.5 pounds.
Ooh.
The prosecute, yes, I've seen it. I've seen Glock 19s go full auto. I've seen 1911s go full auto in the range after someone modified it. Guns come with the way they are, with fixed sights or sights that can only be drifted, because they are self-defense guns. We're looking for self-defense accuracy. If you want a gun that's going to shoot through the same hole at 25 yards and you're going to modify it top and bottom, that should not be your self-defense gun. When the shooting is done, the prosecutor is going to look at the ammo you have. It better not be Zombie Max ammo or something like that, because the prosecutor will say you must be a nut. You don't know the difference between fantasy or reality. So you want to carry a great idea is, you want a court-proof gun? Pick a gun that's widely accepted by the police or military, like a Beretta 92 FS or a Glock 19, or pick the gun that's carried by your police department. Find out what ammunition your police department is using and use the same ammo in your home defense gun. Let's see a prosecutor argue that you were a Dirty Harry wannabe or something with that. Very hard to fight that in a court of law, because then he'd be attacking law enforcement or the U.S. military as well. But you should not be modifying the trigger. You should not be putting garlic in the hollow tip points of your bullets or to kill vampires or zombies, whatever whatever you read. It should be stock. Amanda was talking before when we were off air about people always blaming the sights. We're looking for self-defense accuracy. Most shootings occur 7 feet or less. Average shot fired is 3 shots. You should be shooting a silhouette target at about 10 feet away, and you should be able to shoot a group the size of an orange. Because in a real-world situation, under stress, fight or flight reflexes, the epinephrine running through your body, that group is going to go to the size of about a Frisbee. So the tighter the group in practice in a flat range, you'll see it when you go out. You new shooters, when you go out and compete, when you go out of a flat range and you go and compete where there's moving and shooting and a timer behind you, you'll see what the real world looks like there, where you can't shoot a group the size of a golf ball anymore. But we're looking for defensive accuracy, and we're looking for a gun as stock as 100% is possible. Some people, they want to change the back strap or something to fit their hand better. I'm okay with that. Maybe if you want to put skateboard tape on the sides for grip, that's okay, but you don't want to modify anything of the function of the gun. A lot of these highly adjustable sights too, they can be a problem because they move over time from shooting because of the adjustment screws. If you want to switch to high vis sights, very simple, bring it to a gunsmith, have them switch those sights out for you. But again, as close to stock as possible, and what's widely acceptable by police or military, including your ammunition choices. Now, a lot of people go to the range and practice with range ammo, and then they buy a box of Federal Hydroshock and they load their magazines for home defense. You cannot in clear conscience use that ammo in home defense unless you've shot at least 300 rounds through that gun without any jams, malfunctions, or misfires. You would be surprised how many people do not shoot their self-defense ammo because it's cost prohibitive. They don't even know if it'll feed or eject properly, or if they're going to get light hits on the primer. They'll practice all day with $9 PMC ammo, and then they buy 2 boxes of $35 self-defense ammo, load their mags, put it in their nightstand, and they don't even know if it'll operate.
Well, and I don't think that they think about the fact that in a semi-auto, the bullet actually slides up what looks like you're going upwards on a sliding board and into the action. And so with a hollow point or one of the self-defense type ammo, it feeds and loads completely different than range ammo. So that's the reason that you're saying you need to try it. Your gun may like brand X, but it hates brand Y. And you need to know that in a time when you're not standing there looking at a bad guy and trying to say, am I going to live through this encounter? That's not the time to decide whether your ammo was whether your gun liked it or not. Now, go ahead.
I learned that, Amanda, a retired cop came in to qualify, and he took the Powerball ammo out of his gun, and he qualified his 100 rounds with range ammo, and I said, how do you like the way the Powerball ammo shoots? He goes, I don't know, I never tried it, it's too expensive. And he's carrying it. He's a retired cop, carrying it on 24/7. He doesn't even know if it feeds.
And you're like, okay, what's your life worth? Your life is worth trying it. That would be how that is.
And the great news is you get to learn from our mistakes. Not all guns like all ammo. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're carrying something your gun likes.
Right.
And then if you're going to want to make changes to that, you got to go proof it out again.
I have an example of that, not from a self-defense situation, but Rob and I had challenged each other to go shoot in a competition, the USPSA. And we went there, and I switched ammo in my gun, and I did 130 rounds of single shot clearing drills because my gun would not cycle through with that ammo. So the guy following me with the timer learned a whole lot of very creative combinations of swear words, and I can clear my gun without even looking at it. But I wasn't going to give up. But it was a day. But it really does matter. Your gun has a personality and it has an opinion, and you need to make sure that it likes the ammo that you're trying to feed it. So, well, thanks for talking to us about guns and not modifying your guns for self-defense and for personal protection, because it really matters when you're explaining it or talking to the judge, talking to a lawyer, trying to get yourself out of trouble, the trouble that you've just gotten into. So, Anthony Colandro, Guns for Higher Range out of New Jersey. We'll do another video in just a minute.